That is the sound of the cat urinating, for the record.
Yes.
The Starbucks I just came from?
No, the one in Flemington. They are so slow.
How slow are they?
Slower than molasses in the winter.
We're live, by the way, just let you know.
So slow.
I've gone through the drive-through a couple times when I'm trying to get the baby to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good, but I'm also going in the middle of the day, so there's nothing else going on.
Where
do you go?
There's no like specific time, but every time I've been there, it's been like there's been cars in front of me and it's been slow. There's been no cars in front of me and it's been slow.
If you're out in Flemington and you want coffee, go to Factory Fuel.
I know. I love it.
Oh, yeah,
So
Factory
much
Fuel's
better.
pretty good.
I love it there. And they sell counterculture, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the coffee's, I think, better
Oh, it's way better.
and much faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not really off the main drag.
No, I mean,
Like-
it's just as far out of the way as
Starbucks.
is.
I used to go there a lot because my physical therapist was at a life imbalance. And so I would go
Right.
physical therapy and then
Oh, shite. Pokemon.
Is that what you forgot?
That is something I also forgot.
In addition to your glasses?
Yeah. I don't need glasses anymore. My eyes have evolved. That's what glasses do. They make your eyes better, and then you don't need them anymore.
No, your eyes.
Okay. Ready? Here's your Pokemon.
no.
Okay, good. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast. Episode 652, the Chestnut Podcast.
Chestnut. What you can do for your country. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom, Brain, can you tell us about Chestnut, please?
Chestnut. Ooh, I don't like chestnut.
One day I could see her doing that, just saying no, getting up and leaving the podcast, and that's it.
You know, you guys would all miss me when I'm gone. Chestnut.
Nobody says anything. No.
I'm texting her.
I was waiting for you to...
I'm texting a friend. This stupid girl won't shut up.
About her stupid animals that she talks
What
about.
is
Mom, Brain, please.
What does chestnut look like?
Chestnut is a bipedal mammalian. I'm telling you what chestnut looks like.
Oh.
Mammalian Pokemon with some plant-like features. Does that help? No.
No, I'm a very visual person.
It possesses a prominent domed armor-like shell similar to that of a chestnut.
Oh.
I was going to say armadillo, but
The armor is pale beige in coloration with 4
Armadillo.
large spines jutting out of the back. The armor is trimmed with red and green bands, with the green on the outermost edge. Like, I need to know. There's an additional
Who cares about
spine
this crap?
protruding from the armor over each of Chestnut's shoulders, which are
Yeah.
connected by a green breastplate.
I don't know.
Its body is colored similar to the shell. Its long limbs and tail are banded with plates of armor.
Seems
The
like
top
we're
surface of
running
the
out
tail and arms
ideas,
are
right?
protected by green armor, and the arms have 2 small spines. It has 3 brown clawed digits on its hands and feet. This is like sitting in line at the NBC.
Really? It's that bad?
Yeah. Its hands can fuse together to create a spike-covered shield. Quote, shield. Chestnut has fluffy white fur on its belly and fringing its face like a beard. It has a small pink nose. I got a milk bubble, except I haven't had milk. With a 3-pointed patch of brown fur.
Chestnut is a
I know. Extending up its short snout. It also has 4 pointed teeth and a plate of beige armor atop its head similar to a helmet. It's renowned for its tank-like body.
I know.
I can relate. It's capable of throwing a tackle that can flip a 50-ton truck, like Braun Strowman.
That's right.
Once it gets into its defensive stance with its hands covering its face, it can stand up to a bomb's explosion. It will not hesitate to use its sturdy body to shield its allies from danger.
I will not hesitate to use my sturdy body.
Chestnut is capable of learning Spiky Shield. Its former signature
Not me.
move.
Not me. Number 1, not me.
Excuse me. It's gonna smell good because it's
goodness.
You missed that whole conversation. No, that's just wrong. My burp's going to smell good because I drank seltzer. Never going to be the
No,
case. It'll smell like a burp with a little bit of like
It's going to
fruit in
smell like the worst thing you ate last.
it.
Well,
Yeah, right.
it is
stuff that's
relative,
dirt.
though, because if she hadn't drank the seltzer, that's your baseline.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's number 652. It's a grass fighting type Pokemon. Its abilities include Overgrow, and I think its hidden ability is Bulletproof. It's 87% male, so a lot more male than female. They're 5 feet tall. They're just about 200 pounds. I mean, that's all I need to know. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
God,
I appreciate it. Would you say doing the Pokemon each week is your favorite thing you do?
No.
You seem to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. You can't host the show every week, so.
I think I did a good job. Well,
I thought you did. Good
I
too.
didn't hear. I have no idea. I'm sure you did.
People didn't.
Fantastic.
I thought it was pretty funny.
people didn't like it.
I don't know about people, but one person didn't like it.
Why didn't they like it?
Well, they didn't like you the week before, so
What didn't they like?
baseline, your voice,
Oh, well,
just in general.
all right.
It was
I'm
some
not
douche.
really sorry. So if you're listening,
Hello.
I'm gonna talk a whole lot this podcast, so get used to it.
I got that. Hello, the Aloe Wolf and Murasaki and Mega Travis and Santiago and ZX Billy and Coleman and Cumulative and Turquoise Gold Scraper and Nader Die and Blunners and Lucas and whoever else I can't see. The chat's giving me a problem. Hello, Gristlefoot. I don't think I've ever heard that name before. An Amiibo fan. And
I never get any answers right anyway.
Robert Bear and the Sacred Wolf and Roth. There we go. The chat. I'm sorry, I was freaking out.
Sorry.
Cumulative
Yeah, that's why I don't
says
sit over
7
there.
out of 10. Too much mom brain.
Yeah.
See, he gets it.
Look,
What's that mean? Yes?
if it's really annoying to people, I don't really have to be here.
It
Well,
wasn't.
They also don't need to listen.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
It wasn't really. Hello, Swedish Galaxy. It wasn't annoying to people. It was annoying to person.
One really vocal person.
Yes.
And that person
Am I
is
related
our
to
MC.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was me.
Am I related to that person? Oh, that's
I was
sad.
leaving comments on my own YouTube video.
You know what I hope? You know what?
The best part
What
would
were you
be
thinking?
if I left a comment and forgot, like the next day read it, and I was like, "Who's this son of a bitch?"
Do you
Into
know
a
what-
fight with myself.
You
Yes.
know what I hope? Or makes me glad?
You know what I believe?
What?
I believe that children are our future.
Well,
What do you hope?
I mean, whoever it was that complained about my voice, I'm both happy and sad. Happy that that is the most important thing that they could be complaining about right now, and sad that that's something that they're complaining about.
Well, when you give people a power of anonymity,
God and anime. God and anime.
on the internet,
The power of God and anime.
When you can be anonymous on the internet and you can say whatever you want, then people complain about everything. So Murasaki says, "I like mom brain."
Thanks.
There you go. I
Smells
don't.
like seltzer.
Smells like seltzer and bologna.
I
don't-
don't eat bologna.
That's the weirdest
It's
part.
pronounced Beloni.
Bologna.
Yelani.
I don't remember what happened this week, but we're going to talk about it. Hello, Magic Crub. Alan Wolf says, "I think Mom Brain did great." Oh, here you go. Here
Good.
comes the fans.
But she did
Mom
great.
Brain's the best.
Thanks, guys. Let's not talk about
Mom Brain
it.
should have- Hello, the Name King Clown. Mom Brain is awesome, says Mega Travis.
Thanks, guys. But really, we don't need to be talking about that. Right? We got news to cover.
No?
I didn't mean for that to turn into like, guys.
Murasaki says it was a good podcast. Not great.
We'll take it. Dad, is that you?
It was fine.
It was a fine podcast.
It's a fine whatever you call it.
All right, let's get into what happened this week so
Okay.
I can refresh my memory. Crash Bandicoot, which I wish Lube was here
Me
to
too.
hear about, but he's not.
Crash Bandicoot.
There was a compilation of the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games that came out exclusively on PS4. As you might remember back in the day, Crash Bandicoot was pretty much Sony's mascot for the PlayStation. It's kind of what really put them on the map. But Naughty Dog has since moved away from Crash Bandicoot, and they work on things like The Last of Us and Uncharted and stuff like that. And Activision swooped in and grabbed the Crash Bandicoot license a while ago. And they published the more recent games in the series, of which I can't remember any of the names. I don't remember any of them. Twin Sanity? Is that one? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. There are a couple on the Wii. But yeah, this Crash Bandicoot trilogy, the Insane trilogy, was a remake of the first 3 games and was exclusive to PS4. And a while ago, we heard that it might be coming to Switch, but that was just a rumor. And now that has resurfaced with more information. There was, so let me see, I learned about this week. I didn't know anything about this. Max Argyle, the licensing manager of GBI, which is a merchandising company in Europe, he had an interview in the latest magazine, or the latest issue of the magazine, Licensing Source Book Europe, which is the hottest magazine in Europe, I'm sure. He talked about a whole bunch of things. And in this interview, yeah, in this interview, he just says that the Insane Trilogy is coming to Switch. He just out and says it. The blurb in particular says, looking ahead to 2018, Max picks out Crash Bandicoot as the one to watch. The new game was a huge success at retail with no marketing spend. Next year, it will be going broader to PC and Switch, and there will be another game in 2019. Activision has a 5-year plan for this, and GBI is delighted to be fully on board for all products. So this isn't just like some industry insider who's like, hey, I heard Crash Bandicoot's coming to the Switch. This is somebody actively working with the brand and Activision, and they're like, hey, this is what Activision's doing, and they're bringing the Insane Trilogy to Switch. And then on top of that, there's going to be a brand new Crash Bandicoot game, which they don't say what platforms it's going to, but obviously if they're going to bring the trilogy to Switch, then the new one would most likely come to Switch as well. So that was pretty much a confirmation that this game is coming to Switch. And then later on, like I want to say like a day later, this blurb was removed from the digital version of the magazine because obviously this person spoke about something that they weren't supposed to, because a lot of these companies don't realize what the embargo is for the public to know that these projects are going on. They just know their personal embargo, like you're working on these toys or this merchandise and you're not allowed to talk about it until this date, or you can talk about these aspects of it. So this person obviously had no idea that the public didn't know that the Switch that a Switch version is coming, and it was yanked. So you have two ways of looking at this. The person directly working with the license has no idea what they're talking about, or this information got out before Activision wanted it to. So you know which way I'm leaning. And I think it's awesome that it's great that the trilogy is going to come to Switch, but it's paving the way for something more important, a brand new entry in a franchise. And now seeing how popular this trilogy was, Activision is going to be like, oh, this is the type of Crash Bandicoot game people want, because previous Crash Bandicoot games, while they weren't bad, they took things in a different direction, and obviously this collection is more classic. Ridley Soria says, well, that'd be cool. I'd still rather get it for PS4, but I can't deny Crash would be a good fit on Switch. Has Crash ever been on a Nintendo platform in any way? I'm so surprised when people ask this question, because there have been multiple Crash Bandicoot games. What are you doing? Come on.
Yelling at me.
Stupid iPad. I'm gonna.
Oh, that iPad's a little workhorse.
Oh, it's better than the old one. Yeah, there's been multiple Crash Bandicoot games on Nintendo platforms. I'm going to bring up the list right now. Hello, Twisted End and Fireflame. I typed it in and it asked me if I meant Sonic the Hedgehog. No. Are you looking for Crash Bandicoot? Did you mean Sonic the Hedgehog? No, I did not.
Plays that crap. Did you mean Sonic the Hedgehog?
All right, so there have been Crash Bandicoot games on the Wii and the Nintendo DS and the GameCube and the GBA. So that's 4 platforms for Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot's exclusivity to Sony platforms was very short-lived. Until pretty much we got to the Insane Trilogy, which is just a timed exclusive from what we can see. ZX Billy says, gonna be honest, Crash doesn't do it for me. Gameplay-wise, sexually, I want to know more information. So, yes, I do. Crash Bandicoot Rule 34, please. 2010 was Nitro Kart 2, and then we didn't see any Crash Bandicoot games until 2017 when we got the remake trilogy. So Crash has been dead for a while, and that's because I guess Activision didn't know what to do with it. And then on top of that, Spyro really took off through the Skylanders franchise, because Spyro was really big and then died down. And then they did Skylanders that they launched with Spyro. And Spyro really doesn't matter to that franchise, but he's in all of them. So they were working on Skylanders, and now that Skylanders is kind of dead again, they're gonna go back to Crash because people are really popular, are really into Crash right now.
Skylanders are not dead at Dorothy's house.
Well, I mean, as far as Activision making new yearly Skylanders games, because they were making a brand new Skylanders game every year for 4 or 5 years, and they did what they do. They drove it into the ground, and now people are like, I don't want Skylanders anymore. I have 80 figurines that I can't keep anywhere, and they got like, wah, wah, wah. There you go. You got magnets that split apart. Like, how many of their pieces are lost because they have to split ones? Really?
The oldest child in that house
Takes care of that stuff.
More meticulous than his mother.
I think I've lost a couple of them. But are all these Skylanders with their appropriate bodies?
Oh no.
Yeah.
They can, but they like to flip flop them. Like if this was his desk and you did this, he'd come by and he'd go.
Well, I'm sure that's going to help him later in life. He's going to have a great time.
He has meticulous handwriting. He's a great student.
I think I've forgotten how to write with a pencil or a pen.
Maybe you should work on that. It's good for your brain, especially cursive.
Oh, I just wrote that.
You all know what's happening to your brain.
What?
Going bad.
Going rot.
My brain?
That's right.
Yeah.
Who's talking?
Your noggins gone rot, man.
Oh, I should say this. Mom Brain's here.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
I'm here.
Kirby's here. And Vitamin G is
Yeah.
here. I was going to say what we usually say after that, but that's not allowed on the podcast. F and S, yeah. Here's my favorite story of the week. This one I certainly didn't forget. And I look at that beautiful picture every day. This is about Honey Pop potentially coming to the Switch. Yeah, this is a real story I'm doing. Yes. This is the time we live in, and I think it's a great time. All right, so I got to start somewhere else to get to this point. So there's this game called Nekopara. Nekopara is a visual novel, and it's about this. Now, I haven't played it, so I don't know, but my understanding is this guy finds these 2 girls in a box, but they're like cat girls. So basically 95% of them is human looking.
Is this the game that is this the game trailer that we watched last week, me and Nikki Hill?
No.
Or is that a different?
That's the other weird
visual
one with the
novel?
needles and the.
Oh no. Yeah, that was Song of Memories. No, this is much weirder. Yeah, so they look like humans, except they have cat ears, and I don't know. They used to be cats. I don't know. Long story short, it's a game about. That's what the game is about. Yes, I was gonna say. Long story short, it doesn't matter because the game is about having sex with cat girls. So, and that is coming to the Switch. It's been announced for Japan, and it's gonna have extra content in it and stuff like that. I don't think it's gonna get localized, but it doesn't matter because the Switch eShop is region free. So no matter where you live, as long as you make a Japanese eShop account, you can go and download the game. Which is not how it's been on other platforms before. The DS was region free. You could buy games from other countries and play them on your DS, but it wasn't like that with the Wii U, and it wasn't like that with the 3DS. But yes, region free. So the same goes for the Switch. It's region free. So you can play Nekopara if you want. Now, I don't know if the Nekopara devs are going to include an English option in the Japanese version. We shall see, but the important thing is the game is coming to Switch, and it's a game that a lot of people would have never expected to show up on the platform just because on any platforms, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, you don't see these type of games come out because they have to worry about the ESRB ratings, at least in North America, or the PEGI ratings over in the UK and stuff like that. And a lot of companies won't put out a game that gets rated adults only because retailers aren't going to sell it. Like I said to you last night, Walmart's not going to put Nekopara on store shelves and be like, have sex with cat girls. Like, that's just not what they're going to do. And I don't know if GameStop would do it either. But there have been games in the past that have been on Nintendo platforms that have been risque. Mad World was uber violent. No sexualized content, but uber violent, certainly. And Manhunt 2 was on the Wii, and Nintendo was totally cool with it. And it was about to come out. I don't remember the story exactly, but it was about to come out. But the ESRB I think the ESRB had an issue with it, and it ended up having to get recensored by Rockstar before it came out. So Nintendo was cool with it. Obviously, Rockstar was cool with it. But something with the ESRB, they were going to give it a higher rating or something, so it had to get censored right before it came out, which was a really big deal back then because people were like, what the hell's going on? I was expecting to get this one game, and I got this censored version because that's the only version that came out. But yeah, it's always more towards the violent and gruesome side of things when you talk about ratings for games, but this is definitely in the sexualized side of things. So with Nekopara coming out on the Switch, people were like, well, Honey Pop can come out on Switch now. So people were reaching out to the developer of Honey Pop on Twitter, and they said, hey, now that Nekopara is coming out on the Switch, do you think it's more likely that we could get Honey Pop on the Switch? They don't specifically say which Honey Pop game because there's a sequel in the works. And the developer says, to answer the question, yes, I do think that it makes it more likely. And yes, I'd still do it with the censorship. It'd be a bummer, but what can you do? So he's totally open to it. And we don't know what the censorship aspects of Nekopara are. We also don't know if there are any censored aspects. It could be like Steam, for example. Steam will put games like Nekopara on their platform, but they want them censored, as in like there'll be mosaics over certain things. They won't take out dialogue or discussions or anything like that, but they'll take out like the particularly detailed scenes. Let's say that. So what people do is they get the Steam version, and then the company that makes the game will put out a patch that lets you take that stuff out. So there's always workarounds. So yeah, we don't know what it's going to be, but it could happen. It's gonna come. I guess it could come to Switch. Obviously, in the comments, there's a fight about this because some people are very against this type of game. The Destructo94 says, no thanks. Keep this garbage off of my Switch, please. And Fun Shandy says, no one's going to force it onto your Switch. Relax. That is a good point.
U2 is developing this game.
That's forget it. I'm out. Man, this is getting to be a really serious discussion in here.
What's it about? Sex and video games?
Well, I left a comment in here too, and I said I gotta admit.
Wait, you comment on your own stories?
Every once in a while. I mean, it's about Honey Pop. I have to. This is Nikki Hill messaging during the podcast. He knows the podcast is going on.
Yeah,
exactly. We all got that.
Yeah, I was talking about how I played Honey Pop, and we played it like in a couch co-op setting with a whole bunch of friends and had a lot of fun with it.
With a lot of pillows on a lot of laps.
And Nurio responded to my comment and says, I play a lot of couch co-ops with my cousin, but I think I'm going to pass on Honey Pop.
Yeah, that might get weird.
Fine, if you don't want to bond with your cousin, then pass. So yeah, we'll see what happens. The potential is certainly there, and there's another game coming to the Switch that shows that those games will, at least in one part of the world, be welcome. Well, this is disturbing because my life has been a lie. I still can't get over it.
Hey, your voice is so annoying.
Apparently, Mom Brain has been living in the correct world all these years, and I've been living in the wrong one. One of Nintendo's developers finally came out and cleared something up. Nintendo's Yoshiaki Koizumi talked about Toad, and I guess for that matter, all the Mushroom Kingdom people. And he has said that Toad is not wearing a hat. That is Toad's head.
That is part of his head.
That is part of his head. And I've been thinking it was his hat because I've seen him take it off before, but apparently that's not canon. So that's his head.
When did you see him remove it? Was it in the cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not canon.
He like
remember when King Bowser or King Koopa kidnapped Milli Vanilli? That was not canon.
Wait, that wasn't canon.
I'm sorry. No.
Oh man. Yeah, there's a scene in the cartoon where Toad like takes off his hat and like parachutes down from the sky with it.
They did call him King Koopa on the show, right?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Your Milli Vanilli point.
That's like the only episode I remember.
I know the discussion came up more with Super Mario Odyssey coming out because you get to one of the kingdoms and Toad is wearing headphones, but he's wearing them on top of his what I thought was a hat,
Hmm.
but it's not a hat. So I don't know where his ears are. I don't know how he's hearing music.
Well, maybe he can, like,
Vibrations
sense
through the mushroom.
things through the mushroom.
So yeah, I don't know how many others. I should have done a poll. I don't know how many others thought it was a hat, but we're wrong. So let's see what you guys say. There's a lot of comments here, so I'm sure you're fighting with each other. Oh, here's the GIF I was talking about. Highly and Pudding says he's a mushroom. Of course, that's part of his head. LOL. Let me show you what I was talking about. Also funny is he's the wrong colors. Not just realized. There he is, taking it off and parachuting down.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it makes sense. Entity says, exactly, why on earth would people think something else? This baffles me. Well.
Jeez.
The shoemaker says, glad this has been cleared up. Now Toad can wear hats in peace. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you need there's no, like, Mushroom Kingdom sized hat.
Yeah, now I want to see him wear a hat.
Well, he wears, like, normal sized hats, which makes it look weird, but now we need giant hats. Yeah, that'd be great.
Someone draw Toad wearing a Toad-sized hat.
Yes. Somebody on Twitter has been sending me funny podcast pictures. I wish. Oh my God, it's Toad64. His name is even Toad.
Oh,
Toad, if you're listening,
Wow.
can you get me a picture of Toad wearing a Toad-sized hat? Thank you. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, hello, Agent Ironcat. Agent Ironcat says, where are his ears? Yeah, I want to know. Maybe they're in there. I don't know. We need somebody to do one of those, like, cross sections to show what the inside of a
We
Toad
all know
looks
that
like.
this is a video game.
Hello, Cam. What? Cam says Koopas can take off their shells when real turtles can't.
And apparently Marios can take off their shirts.
That's right, to expose their nipples, but they do not have belly buttons. So there's been a lot of stories like this one I'm about to talk about in recent weeks. I don't know why there's so many, like, leaks going on lately, but all right. So there's this guy. He's called Sonic the Hedgehog. He runs real fast, and he likes chili dogs, and he's been in some games, and, people talk about the games being
likes to
bad.
go real
and all that.
fast.
Likes to go real fast, and that's no good. And Steve Urkel, and all that stuff. So a few years back, there were a couple racing games in the Sonic franchise, and they were made by Sumo Digital, who you might know as the developer of Snake Pass most recently. And they were called, the most recent one was Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. Basically, it was Mario Kart, but with Sonic characters. And it was actually pretty good. And people would like another entry in that franchise. Well, I don't remember exactly when it was, but Sumo Digital had some slides from an internal presentation leaked. And one of the slides said that they were working on an unannounced karting game. So everybody's like, oh, Sumo Digital's working on another Sonic racing title. Then Sega's Aaron Weber, who's the guy who does all their social media, went on Twitter and he's like, hey, I saw that there's a rumor of a new Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed game out there. Yeah, that's not happened. And he's like, just wanted to clear that up. So that was it. Conversation kind of ended there. Then, a few days later, there's this big toy fair in Germany, and there's this company, Zappies, who Sega has worked with in the past for numerous licensed products, but they did toys for Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform, and at this toy fair, they had those toys on display again, and somebody went to talk to them for an interview, and they were like, why are you guys showing off these toys again? And they're like, oh, we're making new Sonic racing toys for the new Sonic racing game that's coming out, but we don't have any to show yet. And the person was like, oh, okay. So left the interview and was like, well, Zappy says that Sega's making a new Sonic racing game. And since that news has come out, Sega hasn't said anything. There's been no more comment. And this could be a situation of, like, Sega saying, we're not doing there's no sequel to Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. And then they reveal some new Sonic racing game called, like, I don't know, Sonic Go
real fast.
Go drivey.
Go drive. Yeah, and they'll be like, see, this is completely new. We're not making an All-Stars Racing Transformed 2. It could be one of those, like, those kind of situations. But There's an event in a couple weeks where Sega said they're going to show off what's coming for the future of Sonic. So a lot of people are putting all the pieces together, and they're saying this news leaked out before Sega wanted it to, and it was one of their reveals for this event. So they're just trying to play it off right now. And then at the event, they will show that this game does exist. So it's up to you. Decide what you want. There's no official confirmation, but there's certainly enough information there to point to something going on with Sonic and racing. So we shall see. Yeah, I know there's been a whole bunch of Sonic-related racing games in the past. So there was just Sonic R, right? That was a racing game. And then there's Sonic Riders, too. Vinloria says, called it. By Storm equals Storm the Albatross. Babylon Rogues equals Sonic Riders 4. What is going on here?
What did any of that mean?
I don't know. Winter says could be a separate Sonic racing game without the Sega All Stars, in which case everyone would technically be telling the truth. Yes, that's what I think is going on. I believe you are correct, but I guess we will find out. Oh boy, I forgot to do something. I don't have to do it at the beginning of the show, but I forgot to wipe again. Damn it.
You know, I shouldn't know you didn't wipe before you know you didn't wipe.
I have been saying this at the start of the podcast. I don't have to, but I do need to say it. So let me say it right now. The GoNintendo podcast is sponsored by Bloober Team's Layers of Fear Legacy for the Switch. Layers of Fear Legacy is a first-person psychedelic horror game with a heavy focus on story and exploration. Delve deep into the mind of an insane painter and discover the secret of his madness as you walk through a vast and constantly changing Victorian-era mansion. Uncover the visions, fears, and horrors that entwine the painter and finish the masterpiece he has strived so long to create. Layers of Fear Legacy makes use of the Switch's unique features, including HD rumble, motion controls, touchscreen, and the ability to play both docked and undocked. Layers of Fear Legacy is due out Q1 2018 on the Nintendo Switch. Thank you to Bloober Team for the sponsorship. I appreciate it. That game has a release date now, like an official release date. I don't remember what it is. It's like the 21st or something. But yes, thank you for the sponsorship. Yes, what?
I burped.
Oh, okay.
What are they called?
Yes. What?
Bloober Team.
Bloober
yes.
Team.
Bloober Team.
Okay.
Roth says, Layers of Fear. Nice. I have that game on Steam. Yes, this is the enhanced version for Switch. I believe reworked from the ground up. All right, quick. Hello, Wii Lover. Quick mention of this. Apparently, hackers have gotten Linux running on the Switch. So this is just the next step in, well, some people will say homebrew, and that is certainly true. And others will worry that it's going to lead to piracy issues and stuff like that, which is also potentially true. But that's where we're at right now. Obviously, Nintendo's not going to be happy about it. And I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of conversation in this story that I don't understand. But yes, Linux, they showed proof of it running on the Switch. So they've gotten things... thank you, Colma.
Talents on hacking the Switch, guys. Nice job.
Nick D80 says, "Why can't hackers ever use their powers for good?" There you go. There you go. Yeah, like getting Linux running on a Switch. That's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong about that. They're just showing like that they've what they've gotten going and everything. But yes, then people are going to be like, "I want to play illegally downloaded games," or "I want to." It is what it is. All right, here's another one of these type of stories, like I just said with Sega, but this one's huge. So, Bandai Namco, which makes a bazillion things. This is the first time ever for GoNintendo that I've logged into LinkedIn. I've gotten so many emails from LinkedIn, as everybody does. And this time I was like, oh my God, I actually am going to log in and check this out. There's a YouTuber called Dr.81. And he put out a story saying that he was going through LinkedIn and he found a profile for somebody at Bandai Namco. And their profile had some interesting information on it about the Switch. In the video, the guy doesn't name the specific employee at Bandai Namco, but he had a screenshot of what the details were for the projects that he's working on. So I was like, I don't know if this is real or not. So that's why I logged into LinkedIn and I spent like a half hour trying to find a profile that matched the one that he showed. And I found it exactly. It's as far as the listing on LinkedIn goes, it's completely true. The listing is true, as in it exists. Now, whether this person I don't know why he would make a fake LinkedIn profile.
He catfished you.
And he's got like his history of his other employees there. So it looks legit to me, certainly.
Has he been sending you nude photos?
Not yet.
Via LinkedIn.
Well, let's say we're in negotiation. So his profile, which I don't know if it still has this information, because obviously there's been a little bit of a shovel storm about it since all this came out. His profile says that Bandai Namco is working on an unannounced IP, a first-person shooter/adventure that's exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. Now, a lot of people are saying that is going to be Metroid Prime 4, which is certainly not a stretch because Nintendo has always called the Prime series a first-person shooter/adventure. They like to focus on the adventure, and sometimes they even call it a first-person adventure game. So that's not a stretch. And then, hello, Retro as Eurogamer came in and they said, our sources are also telling us that Metroid Prime 4 is being made by Bandai Namco. So that's a really big deal because we know Prime 1, 2, and 3 were handled by Retro, and we know that Retro is not doing the next one because they said they've done everything they want to do with that franchise. So 4 is coming out, and we know someone else is working on it. We just don't know officially who. And now this information points to Bandai Namco. And everybody's looking to see what happens with the next big console Metroid game because the last one was Metroid Other M, which was worked on by
Team
Ninja. Yes, and we all know how that went.
That was a long time ago, too.
Damaged the perception of the Metroid series quite considerably. Yeah, that was on the Wii. That was a long time ago. But that's the last like official console Metroid game. So if Bandai Namco is working on it, and again, that's what it seems like, I think a lot of people would at least be less concerned because they know how closely Nintendo and Bandai Namco work together. Bandai Namco has worked on a lot of Nintendo projects. They've handled stuff like Smash Brothers, too. They've done a lot of work on Smash Brothers. So I think a lot of people would see that the two companies have similar philosophies and would be like, all right, I think Bandai Namco can handle this. But also, this profile details another exclusive game coming to the Switch. It's a long-running franchise that we haven't seen a new installment in quite some time. According to this profile, we're getting the drift-based, high-speed car racing exclusive to the Switch, Ridge Racer 8, a brand new Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer is one of my favorite racing games because I love arcade-style racing, and it's been a really long time since we've had a Ridge Racer game, a brand new one. And this says 8 is coming out, and it's exclusive to Switch. And we know Bandai Namco, before any of this, we know Bandai Namco said they are working on Switch-exclusive games.
Why is any of this in a LinkedIn profile? How is this helping this guy?
You would be surprised at how often developers put these projects in their LinkedIn profile and they like get in trouble with the company, obviously, and then they yell at people on the internet. And everybody's always like, why? Like, I understand keeping your profile up to date, but you don't have to go into so much detail.
So much detail.
Just say like unannounced racing games, Switch. Yeah. Then you're okay. Like that's it. All that the most information we know there is somebody that they're making a racing game for Switch.
Because the guy's still in the process of making it, so he has a job. Yeah, he doesn't need a new job.
Yeah, right. So yeah, he's been working at Bandai Namco for 1 year and 10 months, and he's the lead designer on these projects. So he's higher up. But yeah, I understand being excited about working on franchises like this, but yes, you would think, I don't know. I guess some people just don't realize how hungry fans are for information, and they don't think people will go crawling through their profiles. But now we know.
I mean, there's people with a lot of time on their hands, you know.
That is true.
Like you had 30 minutes.
That's right. I had 30 minutes. I don't. Yeah, I went. First I had to reset my password for LinkedIn because I don't think I've used it since I first signed up 1 billion years ago. And then I just sifted through looking for lead designers.
LinkedIn is shady. Like I get emails all the time that's
well,
like,
trust me,
so-and-so wants to add you, and I'm like, no, they don't.
Now that I logged in, they're like, thanks for coming back. Great to see. Like every day, and I'm like, no, leave me alone.
You know who's using LinkedIn? People who like need a job or like hate the job that they have so much that they're looking for. Like it's people in a position.
Or perverts.
Yeah, it's people who are in like a vulnerable position.
Right here.
You know, like
Mr. Rye has the top-rated comment. And he has a picture of Kaz Hirai, and I don't need to tell you any more information than that if you follow memes, because Kaz Hirai's most famous meme was talking about Ridge Racer, where he says, "It's Ridge Racer! Ridge Racer!" So yes, apparently a new Ridge Racer coming to the Switch. And this unannounced first-person game, which everybody thinks is Metroid. Woo! We're going to do this. I'll mention this real quick. Masahiro Sakurai, the man behind the Smash Brothers games, did an interview with Famitsu. And in the interview, he was asked about upcoming projects and what he's doing. And obviously, he can't say what he's doing. But he said how he's thinking about transitioning to a different role, or at least hoping to. So he specifically says, well, for me, every time I always think this might be the last one, as in this is the last game I'm doing. If it's a request from a client, then I'll consider it. But I do wonder, is it all right if I'm not the director? It might be good to take on more of a consulting role. So obviously, if there is another Smash Brothers in the works, which I'm sure there is, there always is, Sakurai might be like, hey, you guys know how to make this stuff. How about you just consult me for details rather than me pouring another 3.5 years of my life into making a Smash Brothers game? So that could be the case. And again, like I said, Bandai Namco has experience in making Smash Brothers, as well as Nintendo, obviously. So they could get the teams together. And if it was overseen by Sakurai, that might be the way to go. And if Nintendo's going to do what I think they're going to do, which is a much revamped version of Smash Brothers Wii U for the Switch, it seems like this would be the perfect time for Sakurai to take on a more a role of consultation rather than directing it, because the base game is already there, and then I'm sure they just add in new stages and characters on top of that rather than a brand new game from the ground up. So we'll see. Like I said, that's just my own speculation, but hello, Pete. I don't think anybody's, I don't think too many people are disagreeing with that idea, because Smash Brothers, the last Smash Brothers didn't come out all that long ago, but people want Smash Brothers on Switch. So bridging the gap between the Wii U entry and a brand new entry would make sense. Just throw in like 3 or 4 new characters and like 5 new stages. Light Wolf says, for his health's sake, I hope he's not in charge of a new Smash Brothers. A consultor sounds like something far more reasonable, in my opinion, especially if the rumored and speculated Smash for Switch is just an upgraded port of the Wii U version. Well, yeah, Sakurai like destroyed both of his hands making the last Smash Brothers game, so I don't think he's too interested in making another one. So he got
like carpal tunnel. Right?
Yeah,
from playing it or from programming it?
Developing it. Yeah, he used to test the game on his own with a controller in each hand for like. So he's made 4 Smash Brothers games. He's been doing it like that ever since, and now he's like, my hands don't work anymore. So,
that's horrifying.
Yeah. So that's why I'm sure he's working on something now where he's the director. Obviously, we just don't know what, but he's thinking of taking on a consultation role for his next game because he can't move his hands. I want to say thank you to Nicholas, because Nicholas sent me the beautiful, gorgeous.
This is a different Nicholas.
Yes, the publisher. Run by Tyrone Rodriguez,
the one and only
former Pikmin Tyrone Rodriguez. He sent me a lovely copy of Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, their Switch boxed version, which is such a nice looking package. I was saying, oh yeah, what the hell? I'll tell that story. I don't give a crap. Let me bring up my email. So if you've listened to this podcast for a long time, you know that I'm very good friends with Tyrone over at Nicholas. He's one of the first people I got to know when I was doing this job. He's the first point of contact I had at Nintendo back when he worked at Nintendo or worked for their PR company. So
and he loves to screw with you.
He loves to screw with me. Sends me packages that say Kevin Acidy on them.
That's funny.
Did you hear? Have you ever heard the story about my first time meeting him? I had him. He was my original rep a million years ago. First time I was going to meet him was at an event at Nintendo's headquarters in Washington. They flew me out, and I was playing Twilight Princess before the Wii came out. And I met him there, first time face-to-face. I've been talking to him for months, and we hit it off right away because we were joking around a lot in email and everything. So he's like, yeah, we're setting you up in a room with a whole bunch of other journalists. You're going to go in there and you're going to have 2 days to play. As much as you can play in those 2 days, go right ahead. So I go in a room. It's just a big square room with TVs around the outside. I'm hanging out. They set you up at like your little booth. And he's like, all right, just play. That's all you got to do is play. Nobody's going to bother you. He's like, you get up and leave when you want. Go back to your hotel room, whatever. So I'm just sitting there hanging out, playing. And he comes up behind me and he's like, how you liking the game? I'm like, oh, it's amazing. And he's like, oh, good to hear it. And I'm sitting next to somebody else who I also knew at another company, and they start laughing. And I was like, I knew that guy, and I'm like, what's going on? What are you laughing at? He goes, you should turn around and take a look at Tyrone. And I turn around. He was dressed in a full-body Pikmin suit with like the flower hanging off his head and everything. He's like, what are you talking about? That is the one time. So that was Nintendo's official suit from something. I don't know, a commercial or something. And I never saw it again. And he won't talk about it to this day. He pretends like it never happened. I was like, man, I wish I had a picture of that. But the story I'm going to tell now is I talk to him multiple times a week. So I thanked him for the Dragon's Trap physical copy that he sent. And I linked him to the video that he did. And then I sent him a screenshot of a comment that somebody left on the video. And I said to him, somebody really likes what you've done with this game. And the comment comes from Puppet Master on YouTube. And the comment is, my dick is rock solid, mother effer, F me silly. I sent it to Tyrone, and Tyrone says, that's a cool second account you have. I like the username. Oh, man, I don't know why that person said that, but I'm so glad they did. So they really like the physical. Hello, the Dream Traveler. They really like the physical package here. And somebody asked me if it's going to be a limited run. I don't know how many times Nicholas is going to publish it. They're not like a huge publisher, but they obviously put a lot of work into their retail stuff because it's amazing. So, you know, all I can tell you is if you want it, you should get it now because I can't guarantee they're going to do another printing of it. It might be a one and done. So I don't know how many units they're putting out there. I would imagine 20 or 30,000 maybe. It's like I said, they're not going to put out 100,000 copies of the retail version. So get it while you can. I don't know if it's yeah, it's out now. It came out yesterday officially. I'm not sure what retailers are carrying it, but you can go to the Nicholas website and grab it there. But yeah, the package is really awesome. It's got full color instruction booklet. It's got a keychain with the dragon guy. It's got a sampler soundtrack on a mini CD. It's got a reversible cover. It's the
Master System.
Oh yeah, the cartridge has like the Master System like patchwork art on it. It's like I said, all of Nicholas's Switch games are top notch. They put a lot of work into their physical stuff with a lot of really cool bonuses. So you can check out that video if you haven't. Thanks to those that have. And yeah, if you want it, grab it before it disappears. Blake says you should do videos in which you show various art books or unbox special editions with commentary. That would be really relaxing to watch. Yeah, I guess I'll talk about this. It's a good time to talk about it. Reversible cover. Yes, Roth. So I put a video on my YouTube channel asking you people what you wanted to see more of on the channel. I know what you like, but I also want to expand and do other stuff. And I know a lot of people want what?
You like that?
You like that crap? I know a lot of people want me to do live streams of games, and I don't have a ton of time to do that. But I will do it. It's just going to be at strange times. It'll be at like 3 in the morning East Coast time. New Jersey time, 3 a.m. New Jersey time, whatever that is. Oh, yeah, 300 hours. So it's going to be weird times, but I can do it. Obviously, there will be an archive after that, so you can watch that later. But people were also saying they wanted gameplay footage. So this past week, I did gameplay footage of Zeo Drifter, which is debuted on the... No, it's not out on the Switch yet. It's coming to the Switch.
No.
Which was available on the 3DS. But it's coming to the Switch. So I did some gameplay footage of that. And I talked a little bit in the beginning. I did a dub later. I wasn't talking while I was playing. So I talked for like a minute just about the game and stuff like that. And then I let the rest of the footage play out. And the vast majority of people were like, this video is good, but we want you to talk while you're playing. That would be a lot better. I really like hearing you talk when you play. And I'm like, I haven't talked about it yet, but it's so hard to play and talk because I feel like it just gets boring. People are like, we want you to play the game and give your thoughts on the game while you're playing it. And I'm someone that like plays the game and then like sits down and thinks about it later. Like it's hard to
concentrate.
Yeah, it's hard to
What hot takes?
yeah, exactly. Which
I don't know. Why don't you? I still think that we should put a camera in the room when we're all playing Splatoon.
I agree.
And live stream that.
Temper our language. I want to do it. Yes,
You can edit that.
So you can hear what we
no,
call
not if it's a live stream.
Oh, right.
So you can hear what we call everything in the salmon run.
Hey guys, the Splatting with the Boys live stream starting.
With the boys.
So I understand you guys want that. I am going to try it. I know I did it once with Dead Cells. I did one video with Dead Cells because there was talk of the developer bringing that to the Switch, and now we know it's coming to the Switch. So I could return to that. I did it, and you guys really liked it, but it's so difficult for me to... I don't know. Maybe I'm worrying too much about it.
What kind of commentary are they looking for? Any kind?
Yeah. But, like, I don't want to talk...
Sidekick?
I don't want to talk and just be, like, talking about anything. Like, I do want to talk about the game. What it turns out... You've seen me play games. When I play games, I'm very like I make reactions when I'm playing, and that's what people liked. So
yeah, that's what people want.
So hello, Lightning Bro.
Like when your voice gets really high.
Yes. So I can give it a shot, and I am going to give it a shot.
You need a sidekick. You need a color guy.
Color commentary.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what you guys think. I see what you're saying. I appreciate the support. It's just, it's, I don't want to say it's out of my comfort zone because I'm not uncomfortable. I don't think it's interesting, but that's not for me to decide. So I'll put it out there for you guys and see what you think. I just don't know what game I'm going to go for to start off with. I could do more Zeo Drifter, or I could do, like, that's the other thing. I'm not going to do like games like Night in the Woods, which I really want to play, but that's, all story based.
I'm not so scary.
I'm not gonna pick that one because it doesn't really make sense. I feel like platformers and stuff.
KNIGHT? Because that's not scary.
No, it's like nighttime night.
Oh no.
So, a night in the woods isn't being night is scarier than a night in the woods.
What if you're a knight?
What if you don't know him? What if you're the bad guy?
Yeah, he's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
You're not scared of
You don't know what's under it.
And what if it's also nighttime?
Yeah.
What if
that's
you're
what I
at
should have
night?
said. It's about a night in the woods at night. Shovel Knight.
In like parentheses.
Right, exactly.
Hello, Vidya Gamer. Yes, ZX Billy. I know. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll start the Patreon because you guys are making me do a commentary for games. Here's something going on with my Nintendo. You guys have been wanting this, and now Nintendo's going to do it.
Yeah.
Starting later this year. Early March. You'll finally be able to spend any gold points at My Nintendo when purchasing Switch software from the eShop. You can pay for the remaining balance with Switch eShop funds or any other payment method available in the eShop. So finally, your gold points can be used to purchase new games. This is something people have been begging for. So if you have a My Nintendo account and you're like, these deals suck, I don't want to buy any of these games because I already have all these games. I don't need deals on these games. I want to spend my points on something else. Now, in early March, as long as you go to My Nintendo and you register the games you purchase, you will earn coins. And if you have, or points, if you have enough gold points, you could basically get a game for free. Which is really cool. Something people wanted to see for a long time. Was part of like Club Nintendo, and now it's part of this as well. Swedish Galaxy 94 says, good idea, but what indie game should I buy? That is the question, my friend, because there's over 300 games on the Switch, and there are a lot of amazing titles. Wonder Boy is an excellent recommendation. If you haven't played that, I completely agree. Wait, Roth. I see comments about Altered Carbon. I want to talk about that.
Oh boy.
I don't know
that's
why you're
canon
talking about it. No, it totally is. This is my show. This week's North American downloads digitally. You can get Dragon Quest Builders, which is Dragon Quest combined with Minecraft. Yes, except it's not officially Minecraft.
That.
Okay.
God, my ears.
It's not official Minecraft. It's just Minecraft style. My freaking ears. Owlboy is fine. Owlboy.
Owlboy.
Play as Al Borland as a young boy. Hello, Manuel. Yes, Owlboy is finally coming to the Switch. That's out in 3 days. And that is not about the Zizal owl.
Although I wish it was with Zizal?
Yeah, that. Oh man, I was gonna curse because I hate that commercial so much.
Didn't you come up with
that
a better slogan?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Hold on, yeah, give me a second. I can think of it.
What commercial is this?
Was it a sleep aid? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's something of some kind of
prescription medicine called Zizal, and
it's for allergies.
It's an allergy medication, and their mascot is an owl, and the slogan is
I got my slogan. All right, their slogan is "Be wise, all take Zizal," and I hate it.
That's pretty bad.
So their mascot is an owl, and I said their slogan should be "Give allergies the boot. Zizal is a hoot." That's way better.
It really is.
That's way better. There's so many owl-related things in there. Come on, man. It should definitely be that. Anyway, Aegis Defenders is on the Switch. Explore, build, and defend in this unique mashup of action platformer and tower defense strategy. Play as a team of ruin hunters, not ruin. Searching for the one thing that they can save their village, a legendary weapon known as the Aegis, the Regis.
The Philbin.
The Philbin.
I have the power of the Philbin. Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology. It's available on the Switch on February 13th. Did you play Radiant Historia? It's on the DS.
The DS. Yeah, I played. I don't think I ever beat it.
But I remember you saying you enjoyed what you played, right?
Yeah, I think I got stuck somewhere.
They released it late in the lifespan of the DS, and now they've seen fit to revamp it for the 3DS. It has some extra features, and it's an expanded version of the original game. As they say, it includes a great deal of added gameplay and story content, an updated presentation, and new ways to experience the adventure. Just remembered I have a text from... Oh, never mind. PC is watching the podcast, and she said she just had to explain Honey Pop to her 18-year-old coworker. And now they are an adult. eShop says, blah, blah, blah. Also new this week is 2020 Super Baseball, the Neo Geo game that's on Switch. Aperion Cyberstorm is on Switch. Arcade Archives Crazy Climber is on Switch. Atomic Run Gun Jump Gun is on Switch, which I hear is actually really cool. I watched the trailer and it looks interesting. It's an auto run like crazy shooter platformer.
Do you jump?
You do, yes. And it has visuals that are kind of like oh crap, Kirby, you know. It's top down and you shoot everybody and it's really violent and you wear masks.
Oh, Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami, yes. The visuals are like Hotline Miami. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That's weird.
A great soundtrack in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Disc Jam is available on the Switch, which is like futuristic, like frisbee throwing. Thank you, Robert. I see what you're saying, and I appreciate it. Mercenaries Saga Chronicles. That's all 3 Mercenaries Saga games in one bundle for the Switch. Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game, is available on February 13th.
What's the unofficial video game?
I guess we could make
Let's find it.
Yeah, right?
I bet that guy on LinkedIn developed it.
Well, if he did, you can bet that he's going to talk about it. Big Pick Deluxe has a demo on the Switch. Premium Pool Arena is on the Switch. The Fall Part 2 Unbound, it comes to the Switch on February 13th. The Longest 5 Minutes, which I've heard excellent things about, comes to the Switch on February 13th. That also has a retail version if you're interested. The Men of Yoshiwara Kikuya is on Switch. It's a dating sim where you date men
of Yoshiwara.
Men of Yoshiwara Kikuya. Appearing Cyberstorm is also on the Wii U. Image Fight and Image Fight 2 are on the Wii U Virtual Console. So there you go. Another week, big stuff. So just to go through this one more time. Dragon Quest Builders is supposed to be excellent. Owlboy has gotten multiple awards and all kinds of praise over the years. Aegis Defenders I've heard good things about. Atomic Run Gun Jump Gun is supposed to be interesting.
There's jumping.
There's jumping and there's gunning. There's good stuff in there this week. Let's see what you guys have to say. First comment comes from Steel Diver, and Steel Diver says, I'm waiting for the Owlboy retail release because I don't believe in digital. Don't believe in it? Like it doesn't exist? Yeah, the retail version comes out like May. I think it's like May 29th. So you're going to be waiting a while, my friend.
It must be really hard to play games,
in
nowadays,
today's day and age, yeah.
where you don't download anything.
I don't believe in digital. Like I understand him saying that because there's going to be
but there's
a time where like
they're eventually going to face physical media out entirely.
In the meantime, what am I supposed to do when I've had a few beers and it's 11:30? So I want to play a video game immediately.
Go to Walmart and P-Bird. They're 24 hours. When you've had a few beers, get in the car and go. I understand the worries about digital storage space and do I really own these games and what happens when they're taken off the servers. I understand that. There's valid complaints there, but it is what it is. Europe, what does Europe get? They got, I was going to say Dragon Quest Builders.
Dragon Quest.
Well, there's two games. The first game is Dragon Quest, and the second game is Dandara. So it combined into Dragon Quest.
A funny, unrelated story.
Go right ahead.
I was in a band covering what the heck is this? What I Like About You. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah, it's What I Like About You.
A line that says,
by the Romantics.
You've been whispering in my ear.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I had handwritten the lyrics out so that I could follow along.
Yeah. And
the E looked like a C. And I was just going. I've been whispering in my car. And I
tell me all the things that I wanna
hear.
Yeah,
and I just stopped it. I was cracking up. I'm the one who wrote this.
Yeah, right.
And I'm reading it, and I still got it wrong.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, the best part is it's not even like a word that you could try and play off as the correct word. It's such a hard sound. Yeah.
Oh, Rear would have worked.
Well, Dragon Quest Builders is not out, but Dragon Quest Builders is, followed by Dandara, which I've heard a lot of good stuff about. It looks really cool. The world of Salt hangs on the brink of collapse. Wow. The citizens, once free spirits, the Salticins, now stand oppressed and isolated, but not all is lost. For out of the ether of fear arises a heroine, a ray of hope. Her name is Dandara. It's a unique 2D Metroidvania platformer full of mystical creatures and boundless exploration.
And salt.
It's salt, full of it. The Dark Side Detective is available on Mom Brain. You're going to want to hear about this game. Where cultists crawl, where demons dwell, where the occult occults. That's where you'll find Detective Francis McQueen, the lead investigator of the criminally underfunded Dark Side Division. When evil darkens the doorsteps of Twin Lake City, hell, even when it just loiters around shop fronts or hangs out in shady alleyways, he's there, ready to investigate the cases that nobody else will. He is the Dark Side Detective. It's very Twin Peaksy, but it's humorous. Yeah, the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Twin Peaks and the X-Files and stuff like that."
I've laughed as hard at any other television show as I have at Twin Peaks.
That's true.
So
you're a special person.
There's some really funny. The funeral.
There's funny moments in there.
I think she's alone on this.
Yeah, the funeral scene gets me every time.
I mean, everybody can obviously tell it's funny. It's a funeral scene.
The funeral scene in the first season.
Yeah.
That you laughed at that?
Yeah, right.
It's ridiculous.
I was kind of creeped out, but
up and down. God, it's so good.
Mercenary Kings was available on the Switch. That was on. It's not called Mercenary King. Well, it is, but it's like Mercenary Kings Reloaded or something with extra content. Black Hole is on the Switch. Premium Pool Arena is on the Switch. Awaken the pool pro within you. That's what it says.
Wow.
That's what it says. Discover the joy and tension of traditional pool through the different game modes and ultra-intuitive gameplay. Work on your technique, unlock better and better cues, and pocket the victories to become the absolute champion. Crypt of the Necrodancer is available on Switch, a game I cannot recommend enough. If you're into rhythm games, you need to play it. It's a self-described hardcore rhythm-based dungeon crawling game. It is so much fun. But yes, if you don't have any rhythm, you do not want to play that game. Neo Geo's 2020 Super Baseball is on Switch. Aegis Defenders is on Switch. Arcade Archives Crazy Climber is on Switch. Aperion Cyberstorm is on Switch as of the 15th. Atomic Run Gun Jump Gun is on Switch. Disc Jam is on Switch. Draw a Stickman Epic 2 is on Switch. Mercenaries Saga Chronicles is on Switch. Millie is on Switch. A joyful casual puzzle game that will tease both your wits and your memory.
Good.
Violet has a demo on Switch. There's DLC for a whole bunch of stuff. You can pre-order Payday 2, which is coming out later this month, I believe. Aqua Kitty UDX is available for pre-order. You and your team. Oh my God, this is from Momry. Aqua Kitty UDX. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
You and your team of milk mining kittens have overcome a fear of water to drill down under the ocean seabed and begin extracting vast reserves of what seems to be naturally forming full-fat milk. Get ready for fast-paced submarine action defending the kittens from disruptive mechanical sea creatures. Holy moly, that sounds great.
Give me that 2%.
Goodbye, Colma. Thanks for coming. Go take care of your baby. That is named Zelda, right?
Yeah, but I don't really think that's.
Yeah,
baby
we've been through this
anymore.
before. Oh, yeah. How?
She's a big girl.
It's a baby.
I mean,
Whatever.
Old Man's Journey is on the Switch. That comes from the development team Broken Rules that made what was it called? And Yet It Moves. I think that's what it was called, which was an awesome game, really cool. And they also made something about weird-looking birds on the Wii U.
Weird looking
I don't remember. Old Man's Journey, a soul-searching puzzle adventure, tells the story of life, loss, reconciliation, and hope. Entrenched in a beautifully sun-kissed and handcrafted world, embark on a heartfelt journey interwoven with lighthearted and pressure-free puzzle solving. A visual narrative about life's precious moments, broken dreams, and changed plans uncovers stories of the old man's life told through beautiful vignettes of his memories. Interacting with the serene and whimsical environment, solve playful puzzles by shaping the landscape, growing the hills to create the old man's path forward. Joe Devers' Lone Wolf is coming to the Switch soon. Lone Wolf is back as a video game with a brand new story, a deep combat system, stunning graphics, and much more. Make meaningful choices and carve out your own path through this epic, non-linear adventure. Test your strength in dynamic turn-based battles. Prove your skill with the lock-picking minigame and accept the challenge of wits posed by the mysterious Chianti Cube. Oh, there you go. I sold it as best I can. DLC and special deals. 3DS got Linka Pix Color demo. Okay. I'm sorry, Mom Brain.
no Hello Kitty.
No Hello Kitty, but there's a lot of themes. Maggie Bianca and the Mood Boards theme is on 3DS. Joy and Grandpa LaFrog. The Joy and Grandpa LaFrog theme for 3DS. LaFrog family is simply frogtastic. That's what it
Who
says.
are these people?
I don't know. Hip hop theme is on 3DS. Pop music theme is on 3DS. Ballerina theme is on 3DS. I Love Music theme is on 3DS. DJ set theme is on 3DS. Electronic music theme, K-pop theme, sweet music theme, U-Rock theme, music trio theme, and girls pack theme.
You know who else is a DJ? Hello Kitty.
That's right. Hello Kitty is in everything.
He's a sweet DJ.
Hello Kitty. That would be the synopsis. Hello Kitty is a sweet DJ. So there's a lot of stuff. First comment comes from, you're right, cumulative frogtastic. How could you resist? You can't. First comment comes from Shillelagh. Shillelagh says there's a few good games there this week, notably Dragon Quest Builders, Dandara, and The Dark Side Detective. A word of warning to people interested in Premium Pool Arena. It's we'll just say $2 on Steam, while the Switch version is $10. And worse still, the online multiplayer has been removed from the Switch iteration. That's pretty shoddy of them. Billiard is out next week. It looks better, and while it doesn't have online multiplayer, it's cheaper. Well, there you go. You'll have 2 pool choices on Switch soon enough. What is this? Nintendo said that they are applying, quote, substantial resources for the Switch's online service, and I say it will be worth the wait. So Nintendo's financial briefing happened a couple weeks back. We finally got the official English translation of the Q&A with investors. They talked about the Switch Online service, which is coming out later this year. And if pricing stays the same, we know it will be $20 for a whole year. And Nintendo says they are working on some things to show people why there's value and what they're offering, but not getting into specifics. They said there will be something later on to officially announce details about the service, and that will convey to people how they plan to popularize the service. And then someone else at Nintendo said, we have some ideas about how to make the Switch Online appealing when it becomes a for-pay service. So I think our next announcement will be worth the wait. So they are not saying specifics, and I know there's 2 things everybody wants: a traditional virtual console
and full-fat milk,
and cloud storage for their saved games. So if either one of those is in there, I think people will be very happy about it. But like I said, if the price stays the same as what Nintendo has already said, it will be $20 a year. Rudy C3 says, without voice chat built into the system of games always coming to the Switch with no voice chat options, where they are available on other platforms, the Switch's take on online will never be popular, no matter how much extra content you add on top. Playing online on Switch will remain a cumbersome proposition so long as it is dependent on that accursed app to make it work. If I'm going to have to use a separate app for voice chat, might as well use Discord. So build it into the system already. Damn it! Yeah, I don't kind of
agree.
I don't think they're going to make. I don't think they're going to go through the purpose of putting out the app and then let people pay to not use the app. I think the app is the way it's going to be, unless for some strange reason Nintendo completely loses their mind and starts acting like they've never acted before and listen to fans and do exactly what fans ask. I've never seen Nintendo do that stuff. I don't think that's going to be the case. But.
Well, the CEO isn't Vince McMahon, so there is a chance.
There is always a chance, yes.
You've got no chance.
That's right. Yeah. Nintendo says they're working to broaden the Switch consumer base with new forms of play. So Nintendo Labo is a new form of play for the Switch. And Miyamoto's like, we have some other employees at the company that like that kind of stuff. So we're going to do more of that stuff. And we're expanding the user base by bringing in new players who play new types of things and enjoy new ways of playing on the Switch. So like I said, Nintendo Labo is the first, and we will see more. But obviously, Nintendo didn't give details on it. Virtual Face says, these statements alluding to new forms of play always make me apprehensive that gimmicks will surface. I think the whole point of the first year of the Switch was to show that it's going to have regular games. But yeah, you know Nintendo loves to do that experimental stuff. It's like one of their core pillars. And then finally, Nintendo also talked about the 3DS, and they were asked about a successor to the 3DS, and they're like, we don't know what we're doing, but we're always looking at hardware.
We don't even know what we're doing.
The president of the company says 3DS continues to sell well, so for now, we hope consumers will embrace it together with the Switch. But as for what transpires in the future, that is uncharted territory. They go on to talk about how they're always looking at new technologies and considering what to do and what to implement in future hardware, and also trying to figure out if those things will be viable in the future as far as cost, and if those things will interest consumers and have them want to check out a platform, whatever they're working on. So they're saying we're always looking at new hardware and stuff like that. We're always looking at new tech. Is something going to happen after the 3DS, where the 3DS gets an official successor? We don't know at this time, but everything's under consideration. First comment comes from Kendrick Lamario. It says, remember when some people actually thought they'd release a dedicated handheld alongside the Switch? LOL. I mean, I'm not a betting man, but if I were a betting man, I would say Nintendo is going to release the Switch as just a handheld version later on, cheaper.
Oh,
and you could always buy a dock if you want. Hook it up to your TV. Makes sense to me. But like I said, I'm not a betting man. I'm also not a businessman, but that just makes sense. Like a couple of years from now, I'll be like, hey, you get the Switch for portable, knock $100 off the price. Why not? And if you, like I said, you can always buy a dock. You don't need to, and you can buy a third-party dock, so you can have a Switch you play on the TV for like, well,
get your Mad Catz dock.
$220. Yeah. Well, there's the Nyko dock, which is apparently frying people's Switches. And there's nothing Nintendo can do about it. So Nyko's, not too popular with Nintendo fans right now. But there's other docks. There's Insignia, and there's I don't remember the names, but there's a whole bunch of docks.
Another dock.
If you want to easily switch between TVs.
Right.
I have one, but I have one for work because I record footage for work, and I don't want to keep disconnecting the one in my game room. Do Michaels has two because Chip is playing, but there's another TV, so Do got the other dock and was like, just take the dock and go. You can put it wherever you want.
Just take the dock and get
out! Get out of my house! All right, that's the end of top stories for today. There were actually a lot. Now let's talk about what we played. We're saving you to last.
Okay.
Vitamin G.
What
have you been playing?
I just finished Doom finally.
Hey!
I was playing it last summer.
The original, right?
And then, I was playing it last summer, and then I just picked it up again like last month and finished it, and it was really fun. I like that game.
Yeah, very good. Man,
I wish there are there more games out there that are. I mean, Doom's very linear, but there was exploration in every level.
Well, the latest Wolfenstein.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say the latest one because I haven't played that one, but it's a sequel to the one that I played, which you would like.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Definitely exploration elements to it. And the sequel to that one just came out. I haven't played it yet because it's coming to Switch too, so I'm going to hold off for the Switch version.
Oh,
but,
is it? I know that.
Yes, it is. But yeah, without a doubt, you would like it. I guarantee it. It's pretty much the same thing, just about Nazis. So
right. Yeah.
Different soundtrack though. Man, the soundtrack in Doom, like that's not typically the type of music I would sit down and listen to.
Intense.
But for that game, it is perfect. It does such a good job of heightening that experience. I love it. Every once in a while, we'll get in the car, like to drive somewhere, and I won't tell Mom Brain, but I'll put one of those songs. And it starts out. The one that I always play is like. It starts out real quiet, and then it's like, ah! Like somebody's screaming, and it's like, bah, 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 bah. She's driving like, ah!
It's true.
Yeah, I like the song they play over the title screen where it just goes. Bah!
Yes. Get you pumped up for playing a game.
Or
really
driving
intense.
down Route 22.
That's right. Yeah, they did a really good job with that.
Stop for red lights anymore.
They that's what Doom is supposed to be, because Doom 3 came out obviously a long time ago. And I did not enjoy it, but it didn't feel like Doom. It very much felt like this is what first-person shooters are like now, but it's Doom. Like you're in hell or on Mars or whatever.
I thought I was going to go back to every level and like find all the secrets.
They're well hidden.
They're very well hidden.
Yeah, there was a bunch I couldn't find.
I've been pretty good. When I put my mind to it, I can find it.
Yeah.
But then I just started the fractured butthole. And I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah, I didn't find all this stuff in Doom either because there's so much. There's some. I've walked through a whole bunch of levels a few times, and I feel like I've checked everywhere, and I'm like, I don't know where this stuff is.
Right.
Did you get any of the like
impossible.
Old school Doom levels?
Oh yeah, I found a lot of those, but they're the hardest to find.
Yes.
You can see where it is on the map, but you have to find the lever.
Yeah.
The levers. Even when you upgrade your suit to vibrate for secrets, the levers don't vibrate.
Wolfenstein has hidden Wolfenstein levels too, old school Wolfenstein level. Oh, they're not hidden so much. It's in like your like safe house or something, right?
Yeah, you
have a dream?
I forget how you unlock them. But yeah, you basically like have nightmares of being in the old school Wolfenstein levels.
Oh, and the thing about Wolfenstein is, at least I thought the story and the writing were really good. Like, I actually really enjoyed the story in that one.
And apparently in the second one, it gets like really crazy.
Yes, that's what I heard.
So should I play the first one first?
I would, yeah, I'd play that one for. It's probably dirt cheap now. Yeah, I'd go for it. Yeah, I loved it. When it came out, I was gonna get it anyway, but I wasn't like in a rush to get it. But when it came out, the reviews were like super positive, and I was like, that's very surprising.
I remember that.
And I picked it up and I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Cool.
Really,
All right,
really cool game.
What'll be next?
Old BJ Blazkowicz. Great name. You play any? That's his name. You play anything else?
Fractured Butthole.
And you're early on in it.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm really liking it. I love South Park, so the dialogue's all hilarious.
Yeah. They really pour their heart and souls into those games.
And it's not. I like games that are like kind of challenging, but aren't gonna like beat me up.
Yeah.
You know. And I haven't played a turn-based fighting game in a long time, and it's fun. Yeah,
I was trying to think of both. Yeah, I played one not too long ago, but yeah, I don't play them too frequently.
I've found, and you can, I don't know if it's like this in another game, but you can interchange the people you fight with every time.
Yeah.
And Jimmy is the best. Jimmy is the best.
Like I said, I bought it when it came out. I just haven't had a chance to play it yet. It's one of those games I know as soon as I play, it's going to suck me in right away. Yeah. Like it's going to be really funny. It feels like the show. They just do a really good job with it.
That's awesome.
Mom Bree, what have you been playing?
I haven't played anything. I don't.
Oh, okay.
Think.
Kirby.
Yeah.
You have something to talk about.
Yeah, so I finally have a Switch now.
Yay!
And yep, and you were nice enough to lend me Breath of the Wild, which I've been playing.
Oh, you started it.
Oh yeah, I've been playing like all this past week.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Yeah, I've mostly like so far I've mostly just been
trying to turn it on.
Yes, trying to turn it on, and
I gotta figure this out. If only I knew someone that helped me.
and like finding towers and doing the shrines.
My first like 60 hours in the game were literally just walking around to get to towers and activate them, and that was it. And I was like, okay, now I'm gonna start the game.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to get back into that game. I've spent so much time away from it. I'm so scared now.
You need a fresh start.
Yeah.
That's it. You can just hop back in.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous about starting it too. But yeah, one of my favorite things to do in open world games is to just explore.
Yeah.
I have no idea if like how far I am in the game. I mean,
you could play it forever.
Well, there's the 4 divine beasts.
Yes.
So those are like basically
those are like the real things, like the main objective.
Those kind of like take the place of the dungeons in the game. Okay.
Except it's not like, you just go to the divine beasts and that's the, there's steps in between things you have to do before you can actually get to the beast. I mean, you'll be totally fine. My mom beat that game on her own. You'll be totally. She played like 7,000 hours, I think.
Yeah, because
she played so much. It was It was like 300 hours or something like that. She loved that game.
It's a huge ass game.
She's like, I never need another game again. This is the only game.
And and just like the past like 2 or 3 years, I've started playing. Let's see. Fallout 4, The Witcher 3, Horizon Zero Dawn, and now Breath of the Wild.
Open world insanity.
It's just been like overkill for me because with open world games, I either just like get bored of playing them, or I just get like too overwhelmed, and I'm hoping that won't be the case here.
That's me.
Yeah.
Well, when I was playing Witcher 3, when I first started, just the opening area, like I was like, it's humongous. And then I finally did some story stuff and I was like, oh my God.
And you realize how big the map is.
I know. And I feel like Stu Michaels has seen every corner like 5 times. That's just
he's played through it twice now, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like that with Breath of the Wild too. Just like everywhere, seen everything. Like I was playing the latest DLC for Breath of the Wild, and I saw areas that I've never seen before, and I'm like, I've walked over here a million times. How did, like huge buildings and stuff that I've never seen. I'm like, how did I miss this? But he, especially with Breath of the Wild, he really got sucked into that game, and he's seen. I've seen everything. He's seen it all.
Yeah, I guess the only complaint I have at this point with Breath of the Wild is the fact that Ganon is referred to as Calamity Ganon, which just sounds really stupid to
me. Well, he's a calamity.
Well, either call him Ganon the Calamity, or just the Calamity, or just Ganon. Like, well, it doesn't make any sense.
When you finally meet up with Calamity Ganon, you can tell him that. Tell him to his face that his name is dumb.
I'm sorry, but it is.
ZX Billy says he has 1,040 hours logged in Breath of the Wild. Holy moly!
Who?
ZX Billy.
Who?
ZX Billy. Anyway, did you try that Project Octopath Traveler demo?
No, I didn't try that one yet.
So only Breath of the Wild so far.
Yeah, well, I mean that's all I have at this point.
Yes.
I think I tried playing 9 Parchments, but I forgot it was a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Multiplayer only.
Is it? Maybe just the demo is. No, I think you can do single player, but maybe the demo is only multiplayer.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, you can definitely do single player because there was a glitch where playing single player would erase your multiplayer's progress. So there, I haven't played single player. It's in there though. I don't know about the demo though. Maybe it is multiplayer. Well, you have plenty of games on Switch to choose from.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of stuff to sift through. Oh, is that it?
Yes. Yeah, I'm guessing it's gonna Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild for a while.
Be taking up a lot of my time for a while.
All right, I've been playing more Celeste because I am in love with that game.
I am love.
I'm love that game.
I love Celeste.
So when
I've been going through getting
season of Twin Peaks came out, I listened to the soundtrack a lot, and Rami would be like, "Oh, it's all I hear all the time." And for the past 2 weeks, the only thing that we've heard in this house has been music from Celeste.
The game has been out for 2 weeks.
Is that what was on when
Yeah.
I came in? That was pretty good though.
Yeah, I like
It's the
soundtrack.
regular soundtrack and the B-side soundtrack.
Not
There's 2
complaining.
soundtracks.
I'm just saying that maybe someone at this table is owed an apology.
No! If we're talking about Twin Peaks, the new season, we're talking about you listening to it for months and months on end.
I waited 25 years for that season.
You got me right in the eye.
Wait, did you spit at it?
Yes.
I didn't mean to.
I love that soundtrack. I do. But, like, it was all the time. You can listen to it as much as you want. Just because I say that, don't stop listening to it. I'm just saying.
I haven't.
I know. Just,
I listen
just
to
a
it
lot.
on my run. Like
Just like with Twin Peaks, the show. Like, you will
I was just thinking about
watch and watch and watch and watch.
Anyone will do. Just not too close to the end of the second season.
So anyway, I've been playing Celeste, getting all the strawberries and doing all the B-side levels and everything. And I love that game. That soundtrack, I love the visual style. The gameplay is, ridiculously tough, but so rewarding. There's just so much to do. And see, the story is told so elegantly. Just that game's amazing. It deserves all the praise that it's getting. And you guys are awesome because I saw on the Switch eShop charts, Celeste is #1 on the eCharts. It's #1.
The eCharts?
That's
The
what I
eCharts.
heard. You
The
said
eShop charts.
The eCharts.
Beating out everything else on the eShop right now, which is really cool. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying Celeste, and I hope you're having a fun time with it. And I'd love to know your death tallies. Let me know how many times you've died so far. I'm over 1,000 deaths. I know that, but I don't remember the exact number. I think it's like 1087 or something like that. I recorded a new episode of Parents Play. You guys wanted me to do Celeste, so I have a Parents Play with Celeste. I just have to edit it. So that's coming. But also, I did something that I said I wanted to do. I played Doki Doki Literature Club, as recommended by my cousin's kid.
Come on.
Because he said, you really got to play this game. And I said, I heard about it, and I do want to play it. I was like, I'm going to sit down and play that game tonight. So that was on Sunday, and I played it start to finish in one sitting. It's not a super long game. And that is one hell of an experience. I do not want to ruin it for people. If you watch the trailer specifically shows you one thing because it wants you to think it's one thing. And all I will say is there's more to the game than that. It looks like, all right, so I'll describe the game without really describing the game. This is what the trailer and what the developer of the game wants you to think the game is. You are a boy, and you are going to school, and there's a new club that your friend has started, and obviously your friend's a girl. And the girl's like, I have a literature club, but we need another member. Why don't you come join? So you join the literature club, and there's 3 other girls in the club, and they're all attractive, and you have to decide which one to date. That's what the trailer is about. That's what the game wants you to think it's about. And I don't want to say anymore because it totally would ruin it. Play that game. Oh, here's the other reason to play it. It's free. Game is free. It's a PC game. You can get it on Steam.
Does it turn into like a horror game or something?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh,
I will tell you that when the game starts, it says this game is not suitable for young children. So I'll leave it at that. I mean, after the show, I can tell you. I don't want to ruin it for people listening. But yes. For me, it was like one of those games like Undertale. It's one of those games that really hits you at your core, really makes you feel something. It really sticks with you. And if you're wondering what type of game it actually is, it's a visual novel. So you're not like solving puzzles or anything like that. It's lots of reading, and then you make decisions and stuff. It's about learning who the characters are and working with them. So yeah, played that. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. I know it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I had a great time with it. So that's the 2 things I played this week.
Yeah. And
now, Mom Brain, could you set up music while I get one question ready? Mom Brain, where can people send questions?
GN.
Nope.
GoNintendo podcast.
Nope.
GoNintendo questions at gmail.com.
Where?
GoNintendo questions, gmail.com.
That is correct.
Full fat milk.
Found by cats. Right?
Let's
Cats
see.
found the full fat milk.
Yes. Aaron says, thanks for all your podcasts. I bought some games and liked them because of your reviews and comments about them. Since you asked for questions, here is one. One thing I'm looking for and can't find anywhere is the new Atari Flashback 8 Gold Activision Edition. I can find and pre-order the Gold Edition, but not the Gold Activision Edition. See if you can use your powers for good and find out where this version will be available at. Thanks. I will look. I have an email about that, so I will look and try and get you some information. And I will reply to this email, so it's going to come from a strange reply address. P.S. Old-time arcade games I grew up on. Heavy Barrel. I pumped a lot of quarters into that machine. We were just at an arcade. And I was saying that when I was a kid, I played a lot of Spy Hunter. But I played the sit-down cabinet one where you actually got in. Well, even the stand-up cabinet still has the steering wheel and the gas pedal. But the one I was at actually, was the cabinet you sat down in. There you go. And drove. And I played that a ton. And that was when I was like super young, like when my parents were taking me to the arcade. And the only other game I put more quarters into is probably Time Crisis, because I actually beat, I don't remember what Time Crisis it was, but I beat Time Crisis in the arcade with a friend. And we brought like $7 worth of quarters with us to do it. We beat it. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, those were my 2 big arcade games. I mean, I used to play a decent amount of Killer Instinct, and obviously Turtles, the arcade game, and Turtles in Time, and Mortal Kombat 2 specifically. I remember Mortal Kombat, the original, being in the arcade, and I had read about it in magazines about how violent and graphic it was. And I remember walking by the arcade cabinet and being afraid of it. like looking at it and like you know, you see like somebody's spine getting ripped out, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't be looking at this. I remember being frightened by
Like
it.
that Halloween costume one year.
That's enough talk about that.
Mickey Hill and I played Jurassic Park in the booth, and he fell out. Well,
it's so real. That's great. How did he fall out?
I mean,
it was very spastic.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
I think he had put his gun back in the holster, and he realized he had.
Oh, the holster's on the outside, right?
And he realized he had one more life. So he
Reached
scrambled to get it and just face planted out. Like, through the curtain, there was a curtain.
Oh yes, yeah, that's great.
you're lucky the curtain didn't like come down as it was going out.
God, that's great. He really got into it. Hello, Kim. All right, let's do some music.
Okie doke. It's coming. It's just, you know, thinking.
Yeah.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
First song comes to us from Glitter Bubble 3.
Turok?
No.
I like it.
Goldeneye?
No.
Funny, I had that same. Too good for Goldman.
I was thinking of the Wii version.
Oh.
It is on the way.
The Conqueror?
Oh man, that's a great guess. First party?
No.
Okay, how about Xenoblade Chronicles?
No.
All right, it's high budget.
Yeah.
Oh, that noise makes me think
Sounds great. I don't know if the game is good.
I played this. It sounds familiar.
No. I don't know if I played it.
Is it a Ubisoft game?
Yeah.
It has a Ubisoft feel to it. It's not a Rayman, is it?
No.
Red Steel 2?
No.
Oh, good
Is that
guess.
Ubisoft?
Yes. Ubisoft's on the Wii. It's not a party game. High budget. Splinter Cell?
No.
What the hell is this?
I mean, I can't tell you.
It's not a Rabbids game. It's not a Rayman game.
No.
It's not a Far Cry game. It's not a Splinter Cell game. I feel like we should get this. It's gonna bother me when I hear it. Go on. We don't have a lot of time.
It was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Really?
Really? Really?
And that was from Glitter Bubble 3.
Man.
I
This
would
one
not
comes
guess
from Mikey3319.
Turok.
It's like it wants to be bonk, but it's not bonk.
It's not Bonk.
Oh, now I recognize it.
Perhaps you feel like you've heard this song before.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
Oh my god.
It is. What do you think you would have gotten?
This is deja vu. I don't know. You gave a hint like that too early.
Sorry.
I have deja vu.
Got one of those
Get away. We don't have
eyebrow
enough time.
hairs. So that was from Mikey3319 and it was Deja Vu. This one comes from Retro Fire.
This is a song you hear in a commercial about going to a college that's only online.
Bingo. The game.
Are you looking for a better future?
Sure, we all are.
Just Dance.
No.
The hell is this? The World Ends With You.
No.
Rocket League?
Yes.
Oh, what?
Well played. This
I did
was.
play a butt ton of Rocket League.
Rocket League was the answer.
This is Rocket League.
Man, good.
And it was from our friend Retrofire. Okay.
Good thing you're here. I would have never got that.
The next little jingle. Let me just rearrange a couple things here.
Finally, all those hours of Rocket League paid off.
This one's
Big
from
time.
Andy the Zombie.
Okay. Atmospheric. Resident Evil.
Yes.
Just
Okay.
Resident Evil? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
The remake.
Do you want me to stop it?
I mean, this song's great, but no. Hey,
Wait-
put
wait
that
for
song
the
on.
chorus. Wait for the chorus.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can. All right, so this is a minute and a half in.
You just
This is my jam.
fast-forwarded
Turn it
This
up.
is 2
Yeah,
minutes.
there's no
in.
like mute. Like Resident Evil doesn't have like a theme song.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes of this. So.
Resident Evil.
All right, that was Resident Evil, and it came from Andy the Zombie. This one comes from The Sacred Wolf.
I know this.
Yeah.
What's this business? Is it?
Wii.
Oh, it's Wii. Is this first party?
I don't know.
I'm gonna guess it because it's one of 10 video games I ever played. Little King Story.
I knew that's what you were gonna guess.
Is it your games?
How about Dewey's Adventure?
No. I liked that game. What was the other one? The Munchables. I love that game.
I played it a lot.
Is it Clonoa or something?
No.
Little King Story.
Man, I really like it. What does it feel like, though? It feels like maybe it feels like Bandai Namco.
I don't know.
It could feel like Square Enix. It could also feel like Sega. Sega really gets their act together, which rarely happens. I don't know. Go ahead.
The game is Opuna.
Oh, damn it.
How did I
It
not
always
guess it?
trips
I
you up.
always guess Opuna.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
Opuna.
I was trying to think, what's.
You,
Yeah, because I get Klonoa and Opuna mixed up sometimes because they both have weird names.
This next
Oh,
song
I'm so mad.
comes from Blood Ocean
Opunia.
07.
Clonoia. Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't get Opuna.
I love this song.
Breath of the Wild music is great.
Oh.
What part is this? Oh, okay. I didn't see him too often. That's why.
Last I left off, I was trying to
I
get
saw my mom playing when she first saw the dragon, and she's like, "What's going on here? What do I do? Do I chase them?" I was like, "I don't do whatever you
Yeah, I
want."
was surprised when I saw it first time.
I don't know. I still haven't figured out what to do.
That song,
I don't know what to do in the game in general.
that song in "The Bird Divine Beast" is one of my favorite songs of all time.
I like
It's
one of the
so
first towns.
atmospheric. Probably Kakariko.
The town with the
Yeah,
lighthouse and the tower at the top of the hill. It's with the gadgets. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What was it called? Hatino?
Yeah.
Hateno Village.
Hatino.
Yeah, that's a great song. That is a great song.
All right, so that was Breath of the Wild, and it came to us from Blood Ocean 07. This one comes from Jet Jaguar.
Focus all attacks.
Jaguar.
Work your body, will work your body. No, that's not what it is.
Beep, 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 beep. Tuesday afternoon, after homework and before dinner. This is the song.
Okay, this could be a Sega game.
It's licensed and it's not Sega.
Oh, hold on. License? What system?
64.
Beetle Adventure Racing, because I keep guessing that.
Yeah. It's Capcom.
Oh, you don't need to give us that. Licensed Capcom N64. Holy crap, I'm at a loss.
Does that mean you give up?
Not yet. Trying to think what Capcom licensed games there were. I can't even think of one. Nothing Disney, is there?
Yep.
Okay, Disney. Is it Mickey?
Mickey's there.
Is it just like Disney something or other?
No.
What the hell Disney game on the N64 from Capcom?
It's a crossover. Bend the name, man.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Magical Tetris Challenge.
Oh.
You've been had. That was Magical Magical Tetris Challenge on the 64 from Jet Jaguar. Well played.
Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar.
We are not doing good this time.
You know what? I'm not keeping score, so just.
Oh, okay.
This one comes from Larry.
All right, this has to be Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Is it licensed?
I'm gonna say Capcom.
No.
No. Well, Square Enix.
No.
Wow, I got no idea then. Man, I hate it.
That's pretty good.
I need the guitar up.
First party? Go ahead. I don't know. We're so
Super
late.
Turrican.
Shin Megami Tensei 2.
Oh, never
Shin
played it.
Megami Tensei.
Never played it.
This.
If it was a Super Nintendo game, was it even released in the States?
I can't imagine it was, no.
Look, you're gonna get these last.
Shin Megami Tensei.
That shouldn't count.
This one comes from Rob.
Maniac Mansion.
Yep.
Let this go. I don't care how late we are, because this turns into a hell of a game. Play some real weird stuff. It's a good song. All right, we can go.
All right, that was Maniac Mansion, and it came to us from Rob. Last song for today comes from the Name Can Clown, and you're gonna get it.
It's Yo Noid.
It is
Just playing it. The Noid is an ugly son of a bitch. Like, I'm not talking about the rabbit aspect. I'm just talking about the man inside that
Yeah, he's
suit.
got like
He
a
is
meaty
ugly.
face. It's like bulbous.
He does a lot of drugs, I think.
Yeah.
All right, we're way late. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
So what was our score?
I don't know.
Okay.
50% probably.
50% right. The other 50% right. Kids. All right, after show, I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about? Let's talk about what you want to talk about.
You got a couple minutes. I'm not leaving, Pete. I'm still here. You got a question? Go ahead. Ask it.
Don't forget you have to answer that person's question from the questions.
I will. Oh, I will. I got to go to my email first to find out.
Fine.
Wow.
Just trying to be.
You know, I don't
helpful.
know if anybody's ever told you this, but your voice is annoying.
You know, I don't know that anyone ever has told me that.
I have not seen the Venom trailer, Swedish Galaxy. I know everybody's complaining about it because it doesn't show Venom. Well, I mean, it shows Venom, just not as Venom. It's a teaser trailer, isn't that what they're supposed to do?
How are you supposed to know if he's in the movie?
I got a pretty good feeling he's going to be in the movie. I don't know, Pete. A Switch Mini? I don't know. I guess as time goes on and they can shrink down components and make things more efficient. Yeah, I guess it's possible. I just don't know how many. Well, you know, it's a portable system as it is, so I guess people would be looking for a more portable version. So I don't see why not.
Yeah, it's like when the iPhones got to be gigantic.
Yes.
And people were like, no.
Has Mom Brain seen the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer? I can guarantee she has not. Although she does love the delightful Paul Rudd. So why are you asking if she's
I think
seen
I
it?
know why.
I haven't seen it.
Why? Do you want me to spoil it?
Yeah.
There's a scene where they take a Hello Kitty Pez dispenser and like supersize it.
Well, I'll make sure she sees it and reports back. I wish she was still here. I'd show it to her now. Yeah, I'm so far behind on... Oh.
Don't touch me.
I'm so far behind on any superhero movie. I saw Doctor Strange, and that's it. The last one I saw before that was X2. So it's been a while since I've seen a superhero movie. But I keep seeing, what's the big one that's coming out?
Infinity Wars.
I keep seeing that trailer, and I'm like, man, I want to be a part of this. This looks awesome. Like, I know the characters. I just haven't seen any of them.
I read the Infinity War comics.
Back
when.
So, I used to read Guardians of the Galaxy.
Did you really?
Yeah, like a lot.
Nerd!
Yeah. This is where the story's going. So, the first trailer came out for Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta see that. And I was talking to Dew, and I was like, let's go see Guardians of the Galaxy. And he's like, that movie with the fucking raccoon? That looks so dumb. I'm not seeing that.
Yeah,
I was like, all right.
So
So then, you know, I was like, well, he's not going to see it. So I never saw it. Still haven't seen it.
What?
Months and months later,
I would have gone.
he's hanging out, and he's like, man, you know it's a really good movie? Guardians of the Galaxy.
That
And I
is
was like,
classic.
it's like, you son of a bitch. And he's like, what? And I said, are you kidding me? I asked you, and you made fun of it. And he goes, I don't remember, but it sounds like me. I was like, yeah, it was you.
Well, usually
You still haven't seen it?
No.
Oh man, it's like they're like the best. They're like the best of the Marvel movies.
You would think I'd see it because I read Guardians of the Galaxy and I love Batista.
Why don't we watch that sometime?
Yeah, well,
I've seen both of them. Like, remember I sent you a Snapchat because I don't know, one of the stuntmen.
Oh yeah, you're right.
In Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in the credit. The credits.
That was me.
The end
yes.
credits was named Kevin Cassidy.
I haven't seen the movie, but I helped make it. So.
I was a stuntman.
Yeah, I was Batista's stuntman. Yeah, I mean, like, when does this Infinity Wars come out? May or March?
Sometime, probably May.
Sounds right.
I got time to. I want to go see that in the theater, but I don't feel like I should unless I've seen everything else. Like, I want to watch those. Oh, Altered Carbon. Oh,
Right.
who was talking about Altered Carbon? Thank you, We Lover. I'll take that into consideration. First week of May comes out, May 4th. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, who was talking about Altered Carbon? I just watched some more Altered Carbon last night. Now I have 2 episodes left. Altered Carbon went from a show where I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, there's some things I like. I'll keep going with it. And now I'm like, man, this is a great show. I really like the show. I'm glad I stuck with it. It was a bit of a slow burn in the beginning, but yeah, I'm really digging it. Oh, hi, Drake. I didn't even see you were here.
Drake?
Drake, D-R-A-I-G. Right. Yeah, and I haven't seen,
The Avengers?
No, it's not even superhero related. Give me a second.
Captain America?
No, Blade Runner. I haven't seen a new Blade Runner, but I've seen Altered Carbon, which I know a lot of people are drawing, or seen most of Altered Carbon, and I know people are drawing parallels between the two. And I've heard great things about Blade Runner. I just haven't seen it yet. Obviously, I saw the original. But, yeah, I'm really liking Altered Carbon. It's weird, but in a good way. It's got, I guess it's, you know how Blade Runner has that like weird, uneasy vibe to it, kind of.
I think so.
I get that same feeling from Altered Carbon, like that, like philosophical vibe to it. It's hard to put into words, but the vibe I get from Blade Runner, I get from, well, like uneasiness about the future of technology and what it could do to us and stuff like that.
Not philosophy.
So Altered Carbon has boobs. That's true, Drake. Yes.
Oh yeah, there's nudity.
There's really not a ton, to tell you the truth. Okay. Like, I think the first episode of Game of Thrones outdoes all the nudity in the whole season of Altered Carbon, at least so far. Unless things get, well, the last episode I watched has like a 5-minute fight with some naked lady, so that throws in a lot of nudity. But overall, the series doesn't really focus a lot on nudity. It's the future, so there's always has to be like some seedy, neon glory hole place where ladies are dancing around naked and stuff. So it's like in every
future or everywhere.
This doesn't sound like the
future. More neon in the future than now. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a lot of nudity. There's definitely violence, but not a lot of nudity. It's about Altered Carbon is about in the future everybody's like consciousness is put into like this like chip, and it's called a stack, and it like goes in your neck. You get them like when you're a kid, and then when you die, you don't really die. That stack can be taken out and put into a new body, which they call a sleeve. Mm-hmm. So depending on how much money you have, you can buy like a better sleeve for when you die. Or like if somebody's murdered, they can be brought back to life to ask who killed you, what happened, and stuff like that. So the only way to really kill someone is to blow up their stack, like to shoot their stack.
Wouldn't a murderer know that the stack is where it is?
Well, yeah, it depends on like what the crime is. So there's crimes specifically that happen where they aim for the stack and stuff like that. But just like they have really interesting things happen. So like, for instance, if you are killed in a crime and you're brought back for questioning or whatever, if your family can't afford to get you a new sleeve, then you don't come back. But if you're brought back for questioning and your old sleeve or original body, whichever one it was, is destroyed, you just get given what they have in storage, what the government has in storage. Mm-hmm. So like there's this like little girl, like a 4-year-old girl who's killed, and she gets brought back in like an 80-year-old woman's body. So she like walks up to her dad, and she's like, "Daddy," and he's like, "What the hell's going on here?" And the mom is like, "Wait, is that you?" And it's just so like you have all kinds of weird things going on. You don't really know who is who because they can switch stacks between sleeves. You don't know. Anybody could be anybody, which is cool. It makes it interesting. Yeah. All right, that's my Altered Carbon discussion. I gotta go. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for stacking my sleeve, everybody.
I gotta go get my sleeve stacked, if you know what I mean. I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.